All right, so let's start this off sitting just with this knee rotation. So just the internal, external rotation right there. Ensure that this knee is staying there. I just always have my finger there for external feedback, or else I end up, I don't know, doing this, but that keeps it right there in the right spot. Yes. So we go back to Friday. That was Sasha's birthday was Saturday, and we were going to go to picnic day, and then she was going to have her birthday party. Switch sides. But we were out throwing the stick for her in the yard on Friday night, and the stick did little flippy-doo as she went for it, and it went and stabbed her in the back of the throat.
Oh my God.
Really bad, like blood, and the stick was stuck for a second until she got it knocked out. And she was not a happy dog. And it's like, as a lab, to not eat scrambled eggs and cottage cheese for dinner, and it was like, yeah, she was not happy with that. And let's go with arms, so one arm at a time, up and back. The next morning, so we decided, yeah, you're not going to go to picnic day because you're not going to enjoy that, and you need to just rest. The next morning she ate, but we only gave her soft food, and she was okay. That night, she was like, hey, I'm a lab. I'm ready to eat everything. So, and yeah, so right after it happened, I did the whole look in the lion's mouth thing and pry it open and push her tongue down, and yeah, you could see it was stabbed. The next night, I do the same thing. It's like, I see nothing. There's like not even a mark back there, and she's like, I'm ready to go. Come on.
Wow.
So, yeah, heals fast.
Yeah,
All right, and figure 4. Sit back. So, yeah, with this one, you're sitting back, leaning back, so you can try to relax this hip. And then we're going to push the knee and pull the knee. Push and pull. Yeah, and when we took Stevie the next day for picnic day, I dropped them off, and then the parking spot was another good ways away. And Heather said that when they kind of got around the first big crowd of people, Stevie wasn't sure what to do, and so she just kind of ran around and was pooping while she was running. And was pretty scared, but then after switch sides, after 30 minutes or so, she got a whole lot better and was we left about 12:45 or so. We were only there for a few hours because we're like, okay, this little dog probably for her first big outing probably doesn't need to be out and about that much. But she was a very happy little dog after a while, and she saw a marching band and horses, and she wasn't sure about either of those, but she also didn't yell at them. So, all right, and then we're gonna go touch the shoulders, big circles around. Try to make as big a circles as you can with your elbows. When I have time, I'll redo this video without all of the dog commentary and just more with the coaching pieces. But for the time being, for the 3 weeks I'm gone. And reverse. But UC Davis has a coffee lab, and it's all about, I guess they're doing very serious stuff with coffee, not just making it. But I don't know the genetic stuff behind it. But anyway, they had samples of a cold brew, a normal drip coffee, espresso, and affogato, which is over ice cream. Yeah. And then we're gonna get some twists. So reach around, twist one way, and then the other. You're breathing out as you twist. And the rotation. And that was incredibly good coffee. One of the guys we were talking to said that, because my mother-in-law asked him about decaf, and there's like two methods that they make decaf, but there's some sciencey people that are working on doing an enzyme kind of like Beano or Lactaid that you can just drip in your coffee, and it breaks the caffeine bonds so it makes it into decaf. Because, I mean, all it's having to do is, like, the enzyme, its job is going to basically eat the caffeine and turn it into two other substances. So probably like a water and a hydrogen, and break it apart so that it doesn't have the diuretic and keeping you awake effects. And so he said that's a interesting thing they're working on.
Are they growing coffee there too?
I don't think so, no. And rotate, yeah, it just isn't they may have greenhouses to do like small batches or something to try to get it figured out, but yeah, this isn't exactly coffee region.
Yeah, that's true.
That was my goal when we moved to Angola in southern Africa. I wanted to grow my own cup of coffee. But it takes 3 years before the bush starts making the berries. And coffee beans come out of a berry, and you take the berry out, and it's the seed inside the berry. And then you dry and roast, reverse. And since we were only there for a little less than 2 months, I didn't have time to grow my own cup of coffee.
But if you had a greenhouse, you could.
Seen some interesting greenhouses. I don't remember what they call them. They call them something specific. And we're gonna pull, cross, stretch, and back. That are dug like 6 feet into the ground, like a trench, and then you've got the greenhouse over the top, but just so that it insulates and keeps it at a very consistent temperature the whole time.
That's cool.
So during the summer it'll stay cool. During the winter it stays fairly warm, and yeah, I guess it works a whole lot better than a greenhouse that's fully above ground. All right, and then go for the neck. Roll around. Couple of big circles. After a couple circles, reverse. Sitting tall with this one, and this one isn't about speed. Very little of what we do is about speed. When I tell you it's about speed, I want you to go fast. But this one is about the controlled, full range of motion all the way around. All right, and then the neck pulled back and pushed out for the video's sake. I want you to just make big circles with your torso so you can cross over, and it's here. So I want all of this movement kind of coming from your torso. So you're doing this. So not leaning this way, just your belly button would basically be staying in the same place while the rest of you twists, and you should be feeling this one through your middle of your back, your spine. Reverse it. Okay, let's stand it up. All right, we're gonna go for a hamstring stretch. So this one starts with the foot forward and reach back. That door isn't letting it be very visible video-wise. Going super professional quality here. So yeah, there we go. Back, and on this one, notice the back. We're looking at straight, not here. So you're not rolling forward, you're keeping shoulders pinned back and stretch, release. So when we are doing that warm-up, it is about actually stretch, release the muscle, not hold, 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 hold. That's not what we're looking for. It is getting that leg and it's go out to that until you feel the stretch down the back of the leg, and then stand it back up. Squeeze the butt forward. Yesterday morning, Heather sent a picture of, she went to the bathroom and came back, and Stevie had went into her mom's room and stole a slipper, like a nice leather with sheep wool interior, and had taken that apart.
Perfect chew toy.
Oh, it's great. Perfect.
Now you've got two.
And go wide, and then that's hip one way, so you're feeling the stretch down the inner thigh, and other way. So the one knee does bend, this leg stays straight, this knee bends, and then opposite, so we're filling down. Remember, this one needs to be wide enough. If you're too narrow, you're just going to be doing that. Want it there, so you come down and really feel a stretch. So the wider, the better. So who can do the splits? Anyone? 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 And last night, we took her down to the run club because we haven't, well, Heather's gone the last couple weeks, and I've stayed home with Stevie, but it's like Stevie needs to learn to go because she has lots of energy. It's a little too much for Sasha. Her old bones don't want to go for a run like that. She has a couple mile walk, and she's fine with that. She does short sprints to get squirrels and to go get her treat from the mailman. But besides that, and then reach back to the back of the chair, and try to put the arms between your, or head between your arms. Reach back. And so we get her there. It's at a, we meet at a little brewery in Woodland, and there was somebody's 50th birthday party there, and it probably had 30 or 40 people. And so it was already loud, and she wasn't sure what was going on with that. And then the run club started showing up, and because it was an absolutely gorgeous night last night, there were probably 30 people showed up to run club. And that included another 5 or 6 dogs. and she did quite well with all of them, and she on the ride back home, we said, "Oh, Stevie, you were such a good girl." Well, you weren't actively bad. There is a difference between good and not actively bad. But yes, she did do well with that. And then let's go with the swimmer stretch. So the whole time you're trying to push the arms as far back as you can with that. So start at the hands behind the head, and up to the Y, down to the T, flip your thumbs down, push back, onto your lower back, and push forward, and do a couple of flaps of the wings. But, yeah, Heather took her for the 1 mile run, and she did really well while she was with the whole group. Of everybody running, she was just like, yes, this is the best, and running straight forward and basically pulling Heather. And then the 1 mile group cuts off, and the 3 mile group keeps going. And at that point, she's like, well, I want to follow them, and because that was fun. Then she started her weaving back and forth and wanting to sniff things. But she'll get it figured out. Sorry, we're now reversing. I forgot what we were doing here. Who's leading this thing? And there, and again, pushing far back. And we get back to the brewery, and there was this 4-month-old basset hound. Oh my goodness, it was. Oh, it was cute. And its ears were so soft. But we get back, and as I've said, Stevie has still not become friends with her Aunt Bethany, Heather's sister, and every time she walks in the room, and doesn't let her pet her, and for no reason. The only reason we can think of is that she wasn't there on the first 2 days that she lived with us, and was just like, oh, this is a new person, she doesn't belong, or something. Okay, and now to let's get some butt kicks. So let's just bend the knees. But last night, with all of the commotion in the brewery, we're sitting outside on the porch. Bethany comes up, and there's lots of other people, and she just sits down on the ground next to Stevie, and Stevie's like, okay. And she reaches out, and Stevie gives her a sniff and starts licking her hand, and then kind of notices, oh wait, that's who you are. But then it's like, okay, but I guess I've committed to this, and I guess you're not an active threat, and I know you more than I know them, so okay.
Yeah.
And she pet her for like 15. She's like, I'm going to take all of this I can get, and just sat there and pet her and gave her some treats, and Sasha did quite well with her, so we might kind of turn a corner, and she might start to like Bethany, we hope. Because you get a lot of Bethany in the next 2 weeks while we're gone. Open and close the gates. So this one, if you need the balance, you can. So up and out and down and up, back across, and in. So we'll do that a few times on one leg and then switch. I walked a mile. I have a completely routine, like my blood panels tomorrow, but the last 2 times that I've done it, and last time, we'll switch, I've come back with very high creatinine levels, which is a kidney function marker.
Mine was really high too.
So, that I wanted to go complete baseline because also people with higher muscle mass that work out intensely have higher creatinine levels.
Well, that's not my issue.
So, and my last two times, the first one that came back where the doctor was like, whoa, what's up with this, was the day after I did a 10-mile training run before my half marathon. And that was very high spiked creatinine levels. But then when I talked to a urologist about it, he's like, oh, no, that's not something you worry about at all. Take one without having worked out or gone for runs for a week before, and then let's see what your numbers are. It's like, okay. So I just went for a nice stroll last night.
Yeah.
And I'm, yes. And there. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to start doing some other movements. So, there.